Wish it was every week, but it's not at the moment. We've had a couple of weeks off, but we're back and we're rocking and rolling. We're recording this live right now on Friday night on kick.com/Heinzie. That's where we're at every single Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. But I missed you guys. It's been a while, so we thought let's hit it. We got a lot to talk about. Way too much for one standard video right now. So I thought we'll bring in some reinforcements as well. Someone with some actual brains, because Ram's useless. Hello, boys. I'm kidding, Ram. It's a joke. Hello, Ranger. How you doing, brother? Welcome, mate.
I'm doing good. Glad to be here as tradition on a Friday night, having fun in the sun, and yeah, ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's do it.
All happening, mate. It's good to be back. And of course, we've got everyone's favorite toss bag, Ram. Hello, buddy. How you doing, man? It's good to be back.
What's going on, Heinzie?
Okay, let's just start with the meme of the week, ladies and gentlemen. So we will be doing this as normal.
Here we go.
We'll be doing this in two halves, okay? So we're going to be doing it in two halves. We didn't bother putting the topics up because it's just way too much to cover. Can't just do 6 topics, right? Can't do the standard 3 and 3. Way too much to talk about. So we're just going to go for it. We're going to split this in half, okay? The other half, of course, will be in the description below. Link will be below. You won't be able to miss it, straight up. That's where we're at. Heck of a lot to cover. All right, let's get down to the meme of the week. And, of course, in honor of our boy Ram this week, he's to be fair to say, he's been a little bit excited. Apparently there was a post last week about some ship getting a rework or something like that. It might have something to do maybe with Mace Windu's ship, possibly Endurance. But the post opened up, and I'm pretty sure I got a live photo of our boy Ram Ram Bam post Endurance announcement straight up. That's what he looked like. That's what he looked like straight up. That's exactly what the rune looked like after the announcement. 100% Ram looked like that. It was everywhere. It wasn't ectoplasm. It was just Ram. There's the meme of the week.
The ghost,
to be
man.
done.
Them ghosts.
Had
Them ghosts,
to
man.
be done, mate. Straight up. Dead set. Yeah. Unbelievable. But, dude.
Tremendous me.
Mate, no ectoplasm there. You're a happy little chappy at the moment, Ram, I reckon.
Oh no, that was completely unexpected. I was having a horrible day at work that day. Just very, very rough. And I saw the post and I started reading. I'm like, okay, cool, Marauder, that's awesome. And then I saw the words and I'm like, yes.
So for those that don't know, of course, it was about it feels like 2 years ago?
Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah,
almost 2 years ago now.
2021.
Almost
What?
2 years.
No, it was March of 20.
This was
Yeah, it was 22. It was 22. I remember that.
22.
No, it wasn't that. It was
Yeah,
longer than
March
that.
of 22.
Yeah, it was. It's coming up to 2 years.
We're
It's
going
coming
on
up
2 years.
Yeah, definitely coming up to 2 years. But I had the absolute pleasure at the time, which was absolutely magnificent by the people at CG to announce, of course, that Mace was getting a rework at the time, and that was a hell of a good time. It was a really, really fun moment. I really, really enjoyed it. One of the highlights. Honestly, the channel was one of the highlights. It was huge, and I had to keep it under the lid for about a couple of weeks, which was absolutely killing me. But I loved every second of it.
I had to keep it under the lid longer. Oh my god!
Until I told him, and then he was squealing like a little girl. And then a breath later, it's like, okay, Endurance now as well. Like within a breath, it was a millisecond. It was a millisecond. He couldn't be happy with just getting Mace getting sorted. It was like, okay, I want more. Where's the rest? What about the capital ship? But, dude.
Look, when you're committed to something like the make Mace great again movement, you have to be all in, okay? That's not just the character. It has to include the ship, too.
Yeah, dude. I mean, how long was it? 6 years? Like, it's almost from the start you started that movement. It was shit, wasn't it?
Completely. Like officially, I started using that tag around 2017.
Yeah,
it was officially when I started it, but I obviously he was my second character I geared up in the game behind Darth Maul.
Yep. That's it. And he's finally relevant. It took that long. Very much like yourself, actually. Finally relevant. I mean, it's very, very similar. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Calm down, mate. Just kidding. Just kidding, mate. Straight up. But no, congrats, man. Honestly, super pumped. But you're gonna talk about the kid in your video anyway. We're not even gonna touch that shit. Like, we're not going there. I've got zero interest in talking about it. Ram's just gonna let rip and just go through it because we want a top to bottom assessment straight up on the kit, all the workings. He's gonna go through all that on his video straight up. But anyway, congrats, man. I just wanted to bring that one up because it was. I think that was a pretty appropriate meme considering. I think that just made sense. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about. Of course, we got our everyone's favorite event, and only a little while ago I was watching our boy Ranger go through it all, mate. His favorite event, Conquest, can't get enough. He loves it. I could tell the look on his face was magnificent, and Riposte, of course, as well. You know, one of your favorite mechanics. I saw you having fun trying to knock that one out, but dude. Of course, we're getting Gideon next, which we knew was coming. The kid obviously has all come out and stuff. He's pretty OP. He's pretty gross. What do you think overall? I want your assessment on the character, the release of the character, because we're going to be 3 months before we get him. We don't know how good he's going to be until he obviously is in the wild. But on face value, what are your thoughts?
Looking at his kit, I mean, I think it's going to be good, but unfortunately, it's a TW kit. And it's for me, this is falling into the trench dad bod Boba Fett, you know, son of Django kind of kit. I mean, I think he's going to be good, but you know, I mean, unless you really care about TW with the Omicrons and stuff, and I'm sure he'll be fantastic with the Omicrons and TW, but I mean, you use him 4 times a month. Looking at his kit, it has promise. You never know with kits because once it gets to the community, you know, it gets used in ways that CG never tests or knows. And so there's possibilities with GAC. I'm not overly enthused. And one of the reasons why I'm not overly enthused, and I've been telling a lot of people that watch my channel, like, if it takes you 4 or 5 months, don't stress about it. Because some of these feats in Conquest, man, are just dumb. It's getting really out of hand. We can get into that, but yeah, I just don't think you go hardcore.
Yep.
Unless you want to, and that's okay too. But you just don't go hardcore for this.
No, that's fair.
It's not worth the stress. It's not worth
not this stage because we
assume
he's going to be viable, but we're not 100% sure. Like, we don't know how good he's going to be, so there's no point worrying about something you're going to get 3 months down the track. Just rip through it as hard as you can. Rip through that band-aid and just grind through it, and then, you know, on the other side, all going well. Most of the Conquest characters have been pretty solid. I think that, you know, we're going to be happy with him, no doubt, but it's just a case of how relevant it'll be. And as you said, I mean, you know, Territory War, Omicron, but they can't all be GAC, mate. They just can't. Like, I mean, that's the problem. I mean, something needs to go to other game modes, otherwise what's the point? Straight up. Like, I would have at least liked... You know, there's Mandalorian, obviously, alignments and stuff like that. I'd like to see some sort of crate raid viability. I know they're moving to the speeder raid soon, but that would have been nice just to add that in, just as a bit extra, at least. But, you know, anyway.
If you care about TW, and there's some people I know that do, it's great. You know, and I just don't know how good it's going to be in GAC when you have part of the kit removed that's only viable in TW. His kit looks pretty strong, but I just am getting Trench vibes. And don't get me wrong, Trench could be good in GAC. We know Datacrons, they'll throw Datacrons out for that character to make you think that he's going to be powerful. Like we've seen that before with like Dr. Afra and other characters that have come out before. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. There's possibilities, but I'm not overly enthused about this character. And again, it has nothing to do with the character himself. I mean, it has more to do with Conquest and just how ridiculous this Conquest has been so far.
Yeah, fair enough. Ram, your thoughts overall, mate, as well? Anything you want to add?
I'm in the opposite boat, honestly. I think that Gideon is going to bring a lot of good new life to the M Troopers, especially in TW. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I've been able to mess around with him a little bit in Conquest. Now, obviously, it's without Datacrons and beefed up characters and whatnot, but they give us those data cards that allow you to use Gideon full R9 maxed abilities. And if I read the abilities right, I'm pretty sure they did include TW Amis in that data disk. And so I'm sitting here going in with Veers, going in with, you know, Gideon lead and all kinds of stuff. And I'm liking what I was seeing. Yeah. I don't know how heavy I'm going to invest in them. Obviously, you know, we've got our TW, you know, officers that's going to look and figure out what Amis are important and whatnot. But
yeah,
he looks really good. I would instantly rank him above Trench for sure. I wouldn't go, as far as like saying he's Cat or Maul level. Absolutely not. But
Yeah.
he's definitely really solid.
He's going to be needed for the speeder raid, though, right?
Should be, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
he'll
I'm
fall
pretty
into
sure he's
that
on the list,
category,
right?
yeah. With
Yeah.
Empire, Imperial Troopers, yeah, he'll be useful, man.
Yeah.
We
No,
hope.
I said
we
crate
hope.
before. I meant speeder raid, actually. So I wish it was, I hope it does some good work in the speeder raid. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, and this is the first character that they've done that for, I believe, right? The we've never been able to play with a character outside
No.
of like a boss node, right? I want to say they did that for Malgus. I think we were able to have Malgus on the boss
they've been
node
doing that a little
at
bit
one
lately.
time.
No, they've been doing that a little bit. No, I'm happy with that. I think
I like
that's
that.
great.
I like
yeah.
that.
I think
It's
it
just a
gives
little
people
tease.
well a tease, but also you get a bit hands on so that when you do unlock him, you've got a ballpark idea on what he can and can't do. I love that. I think that we should certainly. There are characters that people just won't unlock that have great abilities that people just won't get near one day. I'm good for people to play with the toys, just not in certain situations where it's not beneficial to performance or rewards and stuff. That's all. If you don't have it unlocked. But anyway, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Super Commando got a rework, and not one rework, he got two. Straight up, because they fucked the first one.
They got a rework, then they got a nerf.
Yep. Stuffed the first one, so they thought, you know what, let's tweak it. And from what I'm hearing, it's made stuff all difference anyway. It's still nasty and gross. Great for the crate raid. Like I went into the crate raid, and I threw in Gas Suxon and Super Commando. I threw them in there, and before the crate dragon even went, I had something like 1 million damage up already. Like before he even went. It was, by the time obviously under Maul, he does his 5 stacks, bang, 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 bang. Super Commando just kept going and going and going. I just smacked a ton of offense on it, and I had like 1 million in like no time. It was like, this is just stupid fun. It really is. So yeah, Super Commando, I'm happy with that, and certainly we see that they keep making changes to characters that really have just been sitting collecting dust on the bench. This needs to keep happening, doesn't it? There's still more to go, but overall, I think Super Commando is a good one.
Agreed. I can't make the investment. Both my Garsuxon and Super Pooper Commander are both Gear 12, but I mean, I just did Malicos. I've done a bunch of other characters. I'm finishing up Leia right now. It's like, you're gonna wait your turn, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, plus the crate rate is starting to be transitioned over to the new, Leia, with the speeder raid, and so you will get use out of him. I think in GAC, if you want to go that route with the Mandalorians, that's a viable option for you. I don't know how much in 3s, but possibly 5s. So yeah, I think you'll still get some value out of it. For sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. So anyway, CG guys have basically turned into Oprah.
Oh my God. Yes.
You want a Galactic Legend? You want a Galactic Legend? Everyone gets a Galactic Legend. New packs out. Free GLs given out. That is crazy, crazy stuff.
Well, not free, but
close enough, man. Seriously, honestly, that is stupid pricing. It really is, in a good way, for obviously players that are on the lower to mid tier that need a GL in their roster, that want to spend a little bit, just the little mini dolphins, or really that might spend $50 a month or whatever else, or for anything. It is a stupidly amazing investment. 2 weeks only. It is incredible, guys. It really, really is. And I'm sure a lot of people have to be considering getting those packs. They're too good to refuse if you love playing this game at the lower to mid tier. We need players catching up, boys. This is a viable way to do it. We know that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that this is something that absolutely needs to happen, and obviously they're going to keep rolling them out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love these packs. I think that they are great for guilds in general, right? Like, there's so many people that I know that are like, I'm not going out to Ray, or no, I'm working on Ray, but I'm working on Jabba because he's more important, or I'm working on JMK because he's more important, or whatever. And they just keep having to sideline these old GLs. So allowing these people to get these catch up for a very super cheap investment, it entices people to spend a little bit to get their feet wet if they don't spend, or if they just if they're already cracking, they're obviously going to have it, so it doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
I see no downside of this, honestly. I think it's a really good deal, really good catch-up mechanic, really helpful for a lot of guilds that are pushing more stars in TB or trying to do something better in TW or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, or just a player
I
that
like
just
it.
wants to be more competitive in general.
Yeah.
Like that's basically
Yeah.
what it is. You have a new toy in the arsenal, whether you like it or not. And look, make no mistake. I'm a guild leader of a guild right now, right? We need players pushing through the ranks, okay? Make no mistake. There is a real issue right now with player retention. I don't care what anyone says, right? I
That's
don't
true.
need figures.
Very true.
I see people come and go daily. Like after every single guild event, players move. They're moving more and more and more than I've ever seen. Regardless of the game mode, people just player retention is an all-time low. I feel it. I don't need the figures to back it up. I don't need them. I know that's the case. But it is crazy stuff.
No,
But,
I mean, just to reiterate that point, I mean, I know there's some people that are salty on that, but as someone that's 11.2 million GP account, I'm like, one of the problems I've had, with all the roster reviews and things that I do is people have to make the choices. This is a resource management game for a lot of people.
mhm.
They'll spend a little bit of money, but the resources, it's really tough to make a decision. And Ray and SLK are much older GLs. They've been out a lot longer, and people have been skipping them, and they should, because you now have JML and Java and Leia and some
Yeah.
other ones that, we always say, see Executor first GL, that's not a bad call. I mean, don't get me wrong, SRKR and Ray, if you went for them first, well, mainly SRKR, not so much Ray, but a lot of people, especially Ray, were skipping her because as good as she
Yep.
is, it's just, the fleet sucks and it just a lot of stuff that goes with it. And
There are better options.
They're better options. And so, and one of the things I've had problems with this game is like, you look at Proving Grounds, we've talked about how awful that is for these newer and mid-tier players coming up. I have no problems with this. Someone asked me the other day, does this belittle what you did? I'm like, no, I did that 5 years ago. Do you think I give two shits? Now, I do know that there's some players that are salty, that we're just now unlocking them, and they have every right to be salty.
Yeah.
But I think for the good of the game long term to have this, and it's only for 2 weeks. If you take advantage of it, you take advantage of it. If you don't, then you're back to where you were
Correct.
before.
If you don't want it, don't buy it. It's pretty simple.
But it doesn't give you mods. It doesn't give you, the Zetas. You're going to have to work on those, which you will get ahead of those. So there's going to be some additional work that needs to go into these.
But by having the characters,
overall, yes.
By having the characters that will then attract to better guilds because you have the characters you need that you can't currently get into. Therefore, getting better rewards. Therefore, improving your roster quicker and fast tracking it. End of story. I would rather have, in a lot of guilds, a player that is underdone on their roster that can always come through and you can help them with it in a better guild, but someone who's committed to play than people that just obviously, just sit on what they've got and then just go along with it. Like, that's not healthy for a guild to have that. You absolutely need to have new blood coming through all the time. In this game, across the board, we need new players because, make no mistake, there's been a lot of people falling off the cliff, and there's a lot of people in this chat right now that have fallen off the cliff, right? And this is the point. Like, the retention is the issue. So anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to get your opinion because it is contentious. Make no mistake, because I spent an absolute ton, right, on getting these GLs, right? It doesn't worry me. That was my call. I got it with a lot of time, hell of a lot sooner before everyone else. It was my decision. And I'm comfortable with that. If we can get other players getting it through cheaper now, that's not going to take them a year and a half to do, and they're going to be more attractive to playing at a higher level, how's that a bad thing for this game? We need to be pushing people through. Anyway, that's my opinion. Like it or lump it. You guys let us know in the comments what you think. Okay, new Datacrons are out, boys, and we're going to skim over these really, really quickly. We're not going to be too long. Murder Bears, they're back, baby. We knew they were coming. Murder Bears get a cron finally. That's what it's all about. Malicos, call it whatever you want. You know that guy. From that freaking Fallen Order game, right? So no spoilers though. But
have you gotten to that point yet?
No, I haven't. No, we'll get to that later. Maybe, probably not. I'll probably be too busy falling. But the best. Look, I think that this set of crons is good. I like how they're keeping the combination guys, at the lower tier relic levels, for them to be active. Never change it. Just never change it. Don't go back to the 5s and 7s. Keep them at the 3 and 5s. Please don't change it. There's no need for that. There is a lot of farming and a lot of investment in it already. You're getting your kicks now by putting the Datacron store on refresh. All right, you're getting your dividends out of it. It's certainly advantageous for you. Just make it easier for people to use, please. 100% straight up. And I'd even say drop it down to to gear 12 for them to kick in instead of relic level, even. My opinion. But anyway, people are going to invest in them. Let them get after it and let them have fun with their toys. Only my opinion. But anyway, let us know. What do you think, boys? Am I off the mark on that one? Or, anything you want to mention about the crons? But the main one that you want to get, of course, is the offensive buffs. So, the crit damage and all that, all the offense stacking, all that sort of fun stuff in the level 3. That's the new...
It depends on what you have, though. I mean, so it depends on what's in your lineup. There's some from Imperial Troopers and some other things, but you don't have Malicos. I mean,
but the level 3 light side, but the level 3 light side, dark side,
I know, but people have not may not have Malicos yet. It's like with Jedi Cal.
For the level 9.
So it depends on what you have, but I think this one is not as bad as the previous one in the sense that yes, there's still Hellsteel, yes, there's still stupid ass defense.
No
but
D
you don't
word.
have that. The 15% is gone, and I think that's going to make this a lot easier because that what made this last set 7 so awful was that 15% on top of 300% defense in Hellsteel was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You would time out. It's not that you played wrong. You just timed out. You just literally cannot beat those, like a Jabba with JMK fast enough to, get through it, even if you have like crazy crons. And I've had some where it's like, well, I've got 200% armor penetration. I feel like I'm spitting at these guys.
Yeah.
I think this will be a lot easier to deal with than previous ones. And so I'm hoping that the trend, and it looks like this is going to be the trend, offense, defense, depending on who they want to target and stuff. So this isn't as bad. I still hate Datacrons, but
rather that than the D word, mate. Just saying. I like the stats. I'm okay with this. I really am. You can buff up the characters you need to, light side, dark side. I like it. I don't hate it at all. But anyway, Ram, your thoughts, mate?
There's a lot of D words I like, but not that one.
All right, let's move right along. All right, that's enough talking about that because people just fall asleep when we talk about crons. All right, moving on. Let's get after it. Okay, 2 quick things. First one, Ahsoka finale. No spoilers, though. We're not going to actually talk about the episodes. Overall summary of the season. Let's just talk about that, all right? Let's talk about that because next week, Ram, you and I will go into depth on the Ahsoka finale next week, all right? That will give us something to chat about. Right. But overall opinions, I absolutely loved it. I think this is some of the best Star Wars TV we've ever had. Make no mistake. I think it was absolutely brilliant. There's plenty in the end of it, of course, in the finale that just gets me charged for a season 2. I mean, they haven't announced it, but and of course our boy Filoni's pretty busy in the coming years. Whether we get a season 2, God, I hope so, because there's so much more that we could just draw out of that. But
it's being discussed.
We're getting a season 2. Man.
Has to be.
It's being discussed officially right now, but yes.
Yeah, has to be straight up.
I loved so much about it.
Mm-hmm.
There was some to nitpick, but I'm not going to go into that. Obviously, I really wanted to see more of Thrawn, and we already know it's not a spoiler. We already know he's there.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see more of him, and I really, really, really wanted to see more of Balin.
Yes,
and it's super sad of what happened with Ray Stevenson, and I'm conflicted as to what they should do with him moving forward, because obviously his story's not done.
No.
But man, it was so good, and they did a really good job at fleshing out all these characters and bringing them to live action and doing all great stuff with it, that you wanted to see more of these characters. They could have gone for probably a 12, 13 episode season easily, and I'd have been fine with it. More along the lines of like Andor rather than the 8 that they did. But
yeah, absolutely.
That's really my thing. It's just it didn't feel long enough.
Well, it wasn't. It was short and sharp, which most of the TV series are. Let's be honest. Like, there's not many that have, the deep enough episodes that you really feel like there's an in-depth story there. It's hit and run. That's what they do, straight up. Ranger, your quick thought, mate. No spoilers. Overall,
well, I've got spoilers on my channel. We've been doing this season like you guys, but in more in depth, longer, with Kate and Thane. So you can check that out on my channel. Overall, I give this about a out of 5, like 4.25. I really loved a lot of it. if I was to rate this series, I would say Andor still my number one
100%.
Star Wars show.
Yes.
Mando season 2 still has more for me than Ahsoka, but Ahsoka's right there. Leaps and bounds of the rest. And they did so much with lore. They, without spoiling anything, my God, I was just, me, I do lore videos. I'm just gobbling this shit up like it was candy, I thought the character stuff was great. The soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yes.
The soundtrack was phenomenal. The villains were fantastic in this. I like the character development. And Hayden Christensen, man, he has come back in a big way, baby. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I agree with you. Baylan, Shin, new introductions, the everything, just fan-effing-tastic. Not perfect. I do have a little bit of stuff. I was like,
we're Star Wars fans. We're critical.
Overall, I really enjoyed all of Ahsoka. I really did. It's some little nitpicky things, but that's why it's not a perfect score for me. But yeah, it's around 4.25 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
For the Star Wars show.
I'm going to finish my half of the video because we've still got Rams to do after this. We're not quite done yet, right? But I'm just going to go through this, okay? Now, I've been a little bit busy because I haven't been in here for a few weeks, right? Because I've been off doing some real life stuff with the family and all that. So I'm back now, and I've gone back, and I've compiled a list over the last 3.5 weeks of all the issues we've had in this game, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, right? You ready for this?
Are you going to do that now?
Yeah,
oh my God. We'll be here in a minute, folks.
Here we go.
Now, okay.
All right, 45-minute video incoming.
3.5 weeks. Okay, 3.5 weeks. You ready? I checked it. I checked the tape. 3.5 weeks. First one. Saw Gerrera. Irregular interactions, right? Jabba Journey Guide has bugs in it. Twice, right? Proving Ground aims at being reset on the Proving Ground. That was broken, right? Of course, Super Commando Kit was adjusted twice. Mission and Zelbar interactions were broken. Malicos was preventing revives by all allies, not just himself. Conquest mini-boss was too OP. Work in Progress store was giving rewards. We've never had that freaking store before. Don't know what the hell's going on there. Paid Conquest Energy Pack was in the web store. It was free in the game. Of course, the Marauder bug 1 day after release, right? That's another one as well. The Marauder bug already broken. Apparently it's killing every ship. It's just disgusting. They need to fix it, right? And then down to my personal favorite. You ready for this one? Okay. Galactic Legend Layer, okay? Fracture bug, number 1, okay? Jabbatir, couldn't beat it, number 2. Ultimate ability mats, started at 10. I have it unlocked. Hang on a minute, should be 12. I'm going to give it all back to you. I'm going to take it back off again, and you've got to re-earn it again, okay? That's another one. So there's another one there. So I had the ultimate, then lost it, then had to get it back again. And then when I went back to go and get it, the tier 5 was the Circle of Death as well along the way. That was busted as well, so it wouldn't actually freaking work. So I don't know what's going on, but seriously, all of that is in 3.5 weeks. Now, dead set, I probably even missed a few, honestly. But something needs to be done. I don't care what. But seriously, we keep going around in the same circles again, right? I'm sorry, I'm ram-raging a bit here, and I'm saved a bit for you, Ram. Don't worry. But seriously,
we already did it. Don't worry.
We keep going around in circles again, talking about how many issues we have in this game and how we're not getting looked after as a game, right? I've had a gutful. I really have. This is kindergarten shit. It really is, some of this stuff. And it can be prevented, and it's not. So, you know what, guys? Everyone keeps saying it. Fix your game. It's a joke. How about you actually introduce something that's not broken in the first place, then you don't have to waste time trying to fix it. There's some food for thought, straight up. We're going to finish on that note. We're going to go do Rams, of course. We're not done yet. We got Rams half to go as well. He needs to get messy again, Randy style, talking about endurance for a little bit. So come and hang out on that one. Link is in the description below. We'll be back again next week, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about the Ahsoka finale then. Want to give it a bit more time for people to watch it first. Have a good one. See you soon. Thanks, boys.